this video, we take a look at 5 case trends that absolutely need to disappear and stop before the whole market is saturated with cheaply made cases that have absolutely no reason to exist. We start off with the RGB craze, and now because the RGB was not a good way to make more revenue per case, we have addressable RGB elements being marketed as the next big thing for cases. Don't get me wrong, I like some lights, but marketing some cheap LEDs and simple design elements as premium features is beyond me. This is how we ended up with cases that are expensive for no obvious reason apart from a small RGB logo and 2 included fans. That's not a premium feature, that's just called being lazy. The problem with RGB systems, apart from increasing the overall price of a case, is that it adds up to yet another failure point to the whole product. Because everyone wants addressable RGB nowadays, we have extra products included with each case. Products such as an extra RGB controller, LED strips, and a wide variety of RGB cables and connectors that must be compatible with each motherboard manufacturer. All this controlled by, you guessed it, a questionable piece of software. Moving on to our second trend, tempered glass. Yes, we have tempered glass panels, yes that's correct, it's unnecessary, heavy, expensive and prone to breaking, or pardon me, prone to shattering. Of course, that only the most expensive cases have an actual practical way of installing and removing the tempered glass side panels. If you do not have one of those, well, you are stuck with 4 thumb screws and a prayer that you are not going to smash everything. But that's not the worst thing that came packaged with tempered glass, because of course we had to have tempered glass side panels everywhere, including right on the face of the intake fans, and thus have no airflow whatsoever, because you do not need airflow or proper cooling if you have some style. This ties in with our third trend. Thanks to the new tempered glass front panels, we have little to no dust filters installed. Why? Because they get in the way of seeing your glorious RGB fans, and of course because you do not really need a dust filter anyway, because the fans have no way of getting any airflow and thus any dust, because the glass panel is so close to them that it is in fact choking them. This is a tragic oversight to a feature that not too long ago was present on many cases. Somehow dust stopped being a problem and tempered glass took over as a solution. Also no, a basic metallic mesh is not a dust filter, it's just a metallic mesh. A dust filter has multiple layers to keep the dust outside of the system. The final trend that I will have to talk about is vertical graphics cards brackets. Somehow this became popular thanks to the water cooling scene, however it has now moved onto the whole market. The issue is that an air-cooled graphics card will have insufficient airflow due to the vertical bracket. This is due to the case manufacturers placing this bracket too close to the side panels, and thus the fans of the graphics cards are not getting enough airflow to properly cool the graphics cards and its components. This was not a problem when the whole system was using a custom water cooling loop. However, when everyone is using factory cooled graphics cards in a vertical position, well, we can see that the temperature of not only the graphics cards but of the whole system goes up by a few degrees. All this in the name of showing off your graphics cards through your tempered glass side panel. Each of these trends are all based on the look factor of the system, with little regards to proper airflow, actual cooling and dust protection. This is also one reason why I'm still using the original Phanteks Entol Lux as my main case system, because so far not many cases have been able to not be better but to be close to its performance and dust filtering. There are also many more trends that I would have liked to see addressed in this video, but our time is valuable and we have both things to do. Otherwise, if I were to list everything, we would be here until next Friday morning. If you found this video helpful or you want to add into the discussion, feel free to comment below and perhaps you can consider subscribing for more videos.